ain't seen nothing until you've seen my commercials. One plus one is always two. I'm the goo with a treat for you. My goo punch goes with any snack, so get back, Shaq, cause it's the goo attack. Goo! 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 Oh, goo, you're all that. I am, ain't I? And so is my goo punch. Come on, everybody. Goo punch. All right, now. Goo punch. Hey! Goo punch. Oh, goo punch. Oh, fellas. Goo punch. Oh, ladies. Goo punch. Everybody. Goo punch. 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 Goo, that was the weakest thing I've ever heard.
All right, there we go. Yeah, Goo.
All right. Goo Punch is probably the greatest song in TV history. Shout out to the Gooster with the Goo Punch. And if you are coming here from the Struggle Crew, you know that's what we serve in the membership. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the Reminiscing and Research Show with your boy Super Rig. Tonight we reminiscing and researching. What's the name of that show? Oh, yeah, My Brother and Me. What's the business? Hey, what's up, Carter? Man, I ain't talked to you in like 50,000 years, man. You been good, bro? You still in the Texas area, man? I hope you still good, man. All right, y'all. Yeah, so we go be doing research into the and let me make sure. Yeah, that's cool. And we're gonna be doing research into this TV show. And I always been curious where the show came from, who created the show, how the actors been doing since the show's ending, and why did it have to leave? It was such a great show, especially for the black people. We didn't really have them kind of kid shows. And I remember I grew up in the hood housing, and I remember seeing Alfie and Dee Dee. They room was big as the apartment I grew up in. I was like, oh my gosh, they so rich. They so ballin'. Wow, they so lucky. A little bit though, cause they did, they did. It was tripping sometimes, but we gonna get into it. What's the business, Eddie Ward? Goo Punch is the second Wayans Bros, Tim Tones. When my love goes bang bang bang. Yeah, man. So we gonna get into it, and now, my future plans for this channel is to kind of make the well put together stuff. So this is gonna be kind of me researching, and learning how to put it together myself. And who knows, I might be able to glue this live into a episode of that. But let's go on and get started. Now, back in the day, we would have got started with the good old Wikipedia. So I'm gonna do it the old school way. Before we go directly to ChatGPT to send us links to all of that stuff, we gonna go to the good old Wikipedia first and just see what it can bring for us on just a a basic knowledge level. Cause let's see, My Brother and Me. Let's see what pop up in the good Wikipedia. So this show, My Brother and Me, it's an American sitcom. It aired on Nickelodeon. It was created by Lagunga Lungi. I promise I hate mispronouncing people's name. I be feeling so bad. Anyway, they was born William Adele Stevenson on November 27th, 1948. They should have just stuck with the William, you know what I'm saying? Is an American TV, film, and television producer, actor, and screenwriter who has written for Sanford and Son, 227, A Different World, and Married with Children. I bet y'all didn't. Matter of fact, let me see who this person is, what they look like. Because if they wrote for Married with Children, because y'all know it was a black dude that co-created Married with Children. Okay, here you go. Yeah, there you go. So this is a guy that created My Brother and Me. So let's give a salute to L.L. Younger. That's how I'm gonna have to pronounce it, my brother, because I'm not good at name pronunciation. Let's go and get this chat box in the right area as well. Let me see. Hold on. Wait, how many chat boxes do I got? The struggle was supposed to stay over on the other channel. Let me get rid of this chat box right here. And why is my arm still out like I'm Elon Musk in this bitch? Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Chat box. And it's also supposed to be no cursing on this channel as well. I'm already messing up. All right, here we go. This is a curse-free zone over here at the Super Rig Show. Mostly. All right, there we go. You know what? I'm going to make it a little bit. I'm going to widen it just a tad bit. So it'll fit a little bit better. All right. Hey, some folks popping up. L. Bitty, what's the business? I feel like I'm too old for My Brother and Me. I was watching Pete and Pete, Ren and Stimpy, Dari and the Man. I was watching all that too at the same damn time. I was watching all of that at the same damn time. I was not, and I ain't gonna front. I had a crush on Alfie, them big sister. Well, you can't tell me nothing, boy. So I was gonna tune in. Me and Goo was in competition. Goo didn't know, but me and Goo was in competition there, Bitty, for the big sister. What's up, Be a Blessing? What's the business? You are correct. Those shows were definitely Nickelodeon's golden era. I love Moesha growing up. Mo to the E to the Mo to the. That's for another day. I'm definitely gonna do Pete and Pete. I have every episode of Pete and Pete downloaded. I've been having all the episodes since like torrenting. I found out about torrenting and stuff. I got all the episodes. I love Pete and Pete. Pete and Pete is in my top 5 greatest children shows of all time. I think my top 5 greatest children shows of all time is Pete and Pete, Sesame Street, and I really just kind of created that list, I'm gonna be honest. But Pete and Sesame Street is up there. And Muppet Babies. Yeah, them the 3. Muppet Babies, Pete and Pete, them, and Sesame Street is my top 3 greatest. For right now, they are the top 3 because of my list. But let's go and give L.L. Younger, Adele, his props for creating such a great show. And he wrote... Y'all know I be going off topic, but let's just go here. Once again, he wrote for Sanford and Son, 227, A Different World, Married with Children. Now, Married with Children was co-created by this other black dude. And let me make sure it was this run. I think it was this Michael G guy. Let me make sure. Yep. So this the other co-creator. Because I don't know if people ever noticed this, but Married with Children felt like black folks. Like they really did. So you know what? We not gonna get too far off topic, but we have just got the next 2 shows I'm gonna do. Married with Children and Pete. Both these shows raised me. I modeled being a father after two people outside of my own pops, but it's two people that made me the father I am today, and that's Al Bundy and Homer Simpson. I'm talking about they made fatherhood so easy. It's so easy. And shout out to this show for helping me. I fed my kids toaster leavings. I still feed my kids toaster leavings to this day. Guess what? Guess where they at? I don't know. Just like Homer or Al wouldn't know. And that's how you stay looking young, people. But anyway, we done got too far off. Alfie done dead. He looked old and stressed because he stayed on his kids and he knew where his kids at was at 9 o'clock. You remember that question they asked? It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are at? The answer to that would be, don't know. Anyway, but that's who wrote it. And Calvin Brown Jr. was the executive. Wait, it was created by L.L. Unga Adele, and Calvin Brown Jr. was executive produced by Michael Warren, and D. LaDuke, who previously created Family Matters and Step by Step. Now, I know both of these guys. Let me see what they look like. This can't be them. This can't be. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. It premiered on October 15th in 1994, replacing The Adventures of Pete and Pete and Snick at once. How they have to get rid of one dope show? They got rid of Pete and Pete. Now I understand. Lil Pete was getting old as hell, so I understand why they had to end it. You know, he was getting out of that being cute phase, and it was time for his daddy to put belt to ass. But still though, dang, I can't believe that was a replacement show. So it's premiered on October 15th, 1994, and ended on January 15th, 1995. So October, November, December, January, February, March. Wait, October, November, December, January. That show was only on for 4 months. It was only 13 episodes. That show why do it feel like it was like, it feels like that show was way longer than that. It feels like that show was way longer than that. It was only 13 episodes, and the series wrapped in August of 1994. Wow. So the plot of the show was about the Parkers. Hey, what if they was related? Speaking of Moesha, what if they was related to the Parkers? Hey, mama, what if they was related to them? They country cousins over in North Carolina. But the show is based in on the west side of Charlotte, North Carolina. About a family who experienced the highs and lows of everyday life. Jennifer and Roger Parker have two sons, Alfie and Dee Dee. Alfie is the cool elder brother, and Dee Dee is the younger brother who always follows Alfie around. The family also has a smarter, older daughter named Melanie. Another main character on the show is Alfie's best friend, Milton Gooberry. Boy, that Goo boy. Goo was hilarious. Recurring characters who are friends with Dee Dee are Harry, the show's only white cast member. Hey, but Harry was down, though. Harry was down. And Donnell, Melanie's best friend Dion, who is Donnell, and Melanie's best friend Dion, who is Donnell's older sister. So, all right. So the cast was Arthur Reggie III. Now, do y'all know who Arthur Reggie III is? Do y'all know who he is and what he look like now? So this is Arthur Reggie III now. All right. Okay. He has been, I believe he tried to start gangster rapping in the mid 2000s. He was born in 1983 in Compton, California. And he was in, and some of y'all gonna remember him from some other shows, but he was in a movie Bullworth, My Brother Me, and I know everybody remember him from Martin. If you do not remember him from Martin, he was in the episode. He was in 2 Martin episodes. One Martin episode was when Martin played Santa Claus. Let's see if we can bring that up. So this was the one episode he was in. He was one of the badass kids. Here he goes right here.
Look at the little kid. Look at the little kid.
What's wrong with him?
Santa's got lupus.
that? That's Sojourner Truth. What she what's his name's sister? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The dude that was lying about the getting jumped in the snow for a Subway sandwich. Y'all know who I'm talking. Smollett, Jesse Smollett Yeehoo. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I can only remember him from Dave Chappelle right now. But anyway, that's his little sister, and they had a whole show. Now that show was goofy though. I ain't like that show. Anyway, but this Reggie, and he was like a standout. Is that Goo? Oh, that ain't Goo. I was about to say Goo in here too.
I am Santa.
Hey, I have a question. Why is Rudolph's nose so red?
Because he's on that stuff.
Yes, he was on cocaine. Just in case y'all didn't know, Rudolph definitely he was on that stuff. But so that was Arthur right there, okay? And July 6th, 1983. All right, I'm older than him. I didn't know that. Now, as I said, he was also the voice of Jamal in Seabear and Jamal. I did not watch Seabear and Jamal. That was not my jam. That was not my show to watch. But I remember his voice in there. He was also in that show Sliders, which was a bootleg Quantum Leap. They could have actually kept that show. I guess he guest starred in Hanging Mr. Cooper. He was on The Living Color, South of Sunset, Rock, Evening Shade. I remember Evening Shade. And Dear John. I remember Dear John too. So he had a illustrious child career, but then he now I don't know if he turned to a life of crime, but he from Compton. All right, he from Compton, so we shouldn't be surprised at what we about to see here. Let's see if we can find his rap video.
Career is going throughout the years.
Well, I'm best known for my role on the hit series on Nickelodeon, My Brother and Me. Most of you guys probably remember me as Alfie. The little kid with the flat top, with the crooked part. I was on my young Nino tip around that time, you feel me? Yeah. So that's how the world in America fell in love with me at first.
I like how West Coast people say time. They around that time. I can't even say it. But I like that's cool to me.
Now it's time to get introduced to the new me. You understand what you didn't know. You feel me? That part.
I'm sorry for the audio. And oh wow, I did not know he was gonna break out the blunt. I didn't know Alfie was on that draw. and I ain't gonna lie, that's roach status right there. That's looking like it's probably he might need them little tweets.
Let us know what you got going on and what you got coming up. Any shows, any events, any mixtapes?
Yeah, I'm working on my new project right now. The second installation to my first mixtape, Purple Heart, which is out on Dat Piff right now. I'm working on a new joint. I haven't named it yet. It's untitled. When you hear about it, you'll hear about it.
All right, so I gotta be honest. I'm you know what? I'm curious to see what is missing from hip hop. Now this video is from 13 years ago, so let's see what was missing from hip hop, and let's see if he has any insight.
You don't want to be uniform. You don't want to be like everybody else. I feel like, Drake come out with a style, and now you got a million rappers sounding like Drake. You know what I'm saying? I'm not using him per se specifically, but just that as a whole, you feel me? You want to be unique, create your own lane, you know what I mean? If you got a particular sound, go with it. Don't be trying to sound like the next nigga. And that's what I bring to the game. I sound like me.
Shout out to him. Unfortunately, from it kind of stayed the same for a very long time. Let's see. And he done had a lot of people talk. He done did a lot of interviews. And so that's where he ended up. Here's him, another episode of him.
What we supposed to do? We got
on Martin.
Why you rolling up on me like that, Arthur, man? I said we grew up together, man. You right on my shoulder. I mean, we grew up together. Ask me, is I'm the one.
Are you the one?
No, I'm not the one, Arthur, man. You should know that. She the one, man. She the one.
Called him his real name in the show. That's some gangster stuff, all right? So that's where Arthur ended up, okay? He was the main person on the show. Let's see. So it was only 13 episodes. It's crazy. We gonna go back to the cast, but because y'all brought up that it was short. Eddie Ward said, yeah, it was short as heck. That's why people don't know about it. Miss He the Female, what's the business? I'm so old, I can't remember any black TV shows. Oh my gosh. What? No, wait. There was hella black TV shows back in the day, especially if you old. Because even if you 70s, baby, maybe you talking about specifically for kids. Because it was only what? My Brother Me? I think that was it. Everything else was like, you know, Family Matters. But it really wasn't no kids show. The next show we got for kids was Master P gave Lil Romeo a show on Nickelodeon, I believe. He said, Super at least he ain't bad as DJ Daniels from the Hughleys. Oh my gosh. I ain't seen where he at, but I ain't watched the Hughleys though. I went into that show. But let's see. Nobody's Baby. Partners. A girl named Janaea admires Dee Dee. Dee Dee finds himself in several situations. His family leaves him unwanted. I remember that episode. Alfie teaches Dee Dee and Harry to dance. I remember that episode a little bit. A strange drill among us. The brothers trade Goo's pet ball python snake with Melanie and Dion and bring home a class rabbit. That sounds a little familiar. Now everybody remember the episode The Bully. Okay, we all remember this episode The Bully. Matter of fact, let's check that out. The Bully. No. Hit me. We all remember that. Well, I thought it was gonna pop up like that. My Brother and Me. So check this out.
So you up and lose face, and you drop your hands, right?
I drop my hands.
Then you say in a tough voice, if you're so bad, hit me.
Hit me?
That's right. Hit me. Now say it like you ain't scared of nobody.
Hit me?
Meaner.
Hit me?
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Do it like that out there, and nobody will be messing with you. I know that's right.
Hit me?
Good.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit me? You supposed to be so bad. Hit me.
So what happened?
I got hit.
The classics are never not funny. I'm talking about they had me on the floor at 12, 13 years old. I thought that was top tier comedy right there. One of the greatest scenes in comedy history. They should have won an award for that scene right there. So I remember that show, The Bully. The candy sale. Alfie and Goo sell candy bars in order to buy new jackets with the help of Goo's uncle. I want to say I remember that episode, and when they finally got the jackets, like the jackets was jacked up. I want to say Alfie and Goo try out for the hit the open man. Alfie and Goo try out for the seniors basketball team. Dee Dee, Harry, and Darnell try out for the junior team. The guest stars was Dennis Scott or the Orlando Magic. I remember that. Real Men Don't Wear Tights. Allie protests on wearing tights for the Robin Hood school play, but he later quits. I want to say I remember that. And these was coming out every week. They knocked that season out fast. And this was December time. 1994? Yeah, I was playing Sega Genesis while this was going on. The surprise, Goo and Melanie false date against Alfie while they playing Goo and Melanie. Oh, okay, they pretended. So Goo and Melanie pretended to like each other. And Goo and Melanie was like, they was like Pam and Martin. That's how Goo and Melody always, no, Goo was in love with Melody, the other girl, the one that Amanda Seals played. She and Goo always went into it. Let's see, the quest. Oh yeah, and they had to pretend like they liked each other to trick Alfie, and Alfie was like, yeah, I don't believe that. The quest for Kendall's autograph. Alfie and Dee Dee leave the bazaar to get an autograph with guest special Supersonic Kendall Gill. And I remember that episode. They kept saying Kendall Gill like he was Michael Jordan. It's like, oh my gosh, it's Kendall Gill. I was like, nobody give a damn about no damn Kendall Gill. Do he got some shoes? Nobody care. Sensitive Goo. Dee Dee blacks out from going to a monster truck show, then gets angry and decides to run away. What? I think Goo was nice in that in that episode or something. The joke's on you. Practical jokes are played while Jennifer has entered the family into the Queen Magazine Family of the Year contest, and then the haircut. I do remember this episode, the haircut. Let's see, my brother and me, because Goo had gave Dee Dee a haircut, and he jacked up Dee Dee hair because he wanted to look like Cool Dr. Money. Check this out.
Hey, it's Cool Dr. Money and the Money Girl. Oh, check out his new haircut.
So he wanted his hair to look like that. And they ain't got the end of it, but let me see. Maybe they got, let's see. Oh, they got some of the episodes. Dee Dee runs away, my brother and me. Let's see. Do they got him when he cut his hair off? Dee Dee haircut. Cause they had a very trash bald wig on them. But anyway, so now what we gonna do? Let's see if they got the cancellation. So the show was Nickelodeon's first series featuring predominantly a black cast and ran for 13 episodes. In a 2007 interview, Ralph Woolfork the fourth, who played Dee Dee, stated that the show was canceled due to disagreements between the producers and the creators of the show. The two parties had different visions for the show, which caused the major sellout. Me and My Brother and Me, the complete series, was released in 2014 on Amazon, and this release contains 2 discs. It's published on demand and manufactured into DVDs. All My Brother and Me episodes can be found on iTunes. I think they are most on YouTube now. It says in 1996 and 1997 it was nominated for the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Youth in Children's Special. Now, we were looking at the cast, so we already went and checked out what Alfie was talking about, which Alfie's thugging. All right, he's thugging it out. Okay, so shout out to Alfie. The next person that we go check out, let's go to the actual cast list. We'll go here. My Brother and Me. Next up was Ralph Woolfork. Now, he ended up being, he was Dee Dee, the little brother, right? But guess what he is now? He's born in 85. He now is a police officer. This is him right here. Let's see. Because he was trying to, I guess he was trying to be an actor and stuff. I don't know what this is, but in that Young Thug case, hold on. Was it Gunna or, let's see, or it was Lil Baby. Police. What is that called? Press conference? I think it was this one. Which one is it? Cause that police officer that did that whole press conference, like, yeah, we about to clean up the streets. This guy right here, there you go. This, what he ended up being. He ended up becoming a police officer after acting and stuff. He was like, you know what? He went from that to that. And this, oddly enough, is what his hair looked like after Goo cut his hair. To give him that Cool Dr. Money, he gave him a bald haircut. Let's see if you can hear him talking.
Cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been.
The area.
Damn, and you want to know something? It's kind of crazy because him and Alfie ended up on both the opposite sides. You know what I'm saying? As we speak, Alfie smoking a blunt, and as we speak, Dee Dee is arresting someone for smoking a blunt. Wow. It's crazy how life goes. It is crazy how life goes. Now, the next person on the list of people Jimmy Lee Newman, he played the Pops. No, I thought he played. I thought that was gonna be the Pops. This Goo Punch right here. So this Goo. I'm be honest, Goo. This is a very questionable picture, but we can tell this is from MySpace days. This is 1,000. I'm talking about. I bet money this was a MySpace picture, and or the first phase of Facebook picture right here. This is the first phase of Facebook and or MySpace picture. So that means he ain't been online for a very long time. Let's see what he ended up being in after this. He was in Sister. He played Daryl, Sweet Justice. And it looked like Sister in 97 was his last role. That was his last role that he did. He was on the Sinbad Show. Y'all remember the Sinbad Show? We only had one season too. Home Improvement, China Beach. He played Young Dookie. 1990. He was born in 90. He was born in 82. He was 12 years old playing somebody named Young Dookie. What the hell is China Beach about? Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all know I think this is about the Vietnam War. All right, Young Dookie, it is. It is what it is, you know. I can't, you know, it is. It is what it is. Let's see. Let's go back to the actors. The mom, her name was Karen E. Fraction. Oh no, she passed in 2007. That's sad, man. She had been in a bunch of different TV shows too. Her last role was in Sheena and Taina. Y'all remember the show Taina on Nickelodeon? So she still was doing that Nickelodeon stuff till she passed. Wow, that's sad, man. Next up on the list, this dude was one of the friends. His name was Donnell, I think, on the show, Stefan J. Werney. And it appears that all he did was My Brother and Me. And this is a Facebook picture. This is 100%. That's first phase Facebook picture right there. Now, the young friend that played his older sister, ended up being Amanda Seales. Now, Amanda Seales actually posted on her Instagram back in the day when she was actually on the show. And so this is Nickelodeon Studios, and this is on the couch with Melody. This is a family group picture on the set. Here is, I forgot his name already, but he right there, Dee. He had a Tommy Hilfiger shirt on. And as we see, he already had that flannel on. I ain't gonna lie. I'm surprised, Goo, cause look at Goo face. Goo looked like he was thugging. I'm not sure who this was. Oh yeah, that's Amanda right there. And then the parents. Let's see. That's her right there. Her with Alfie and Goo. And Goo and her, they was like Martin and Pam on this show. And that's her with Kendall Gill. Wow, I ain't know people messed with Kendall Gill like that. All right. I'm sorry for hating on you, Kendall Gill. And that's her again. Once again, her with Alfie, Goo, Melanie. And that's her as I forgot her name on the show. But yeah, so that was crazy. She grew up. I think she the only person that's really doing entertainment like that. I didn't know he was born the same year. 81. Okay. Shout out to the 81. But yeah, so she went on to be in the Insecure and a bunch of other stuff. She was in Mickey Mouse Funhouse, Animals, Blackish, Game of Thrones. That's a show. That was a show. Wait, I thought it was Game of Thrones. Let me make sure. Am I reading that right? Game of Thrones. Hey, you know, it's 2025. You get it how you live. Yeah, so that's what ended up happening to her characters, who she was. Jim R. Coleman. He was born in Dallas, Texas. Let's see, he's still acting. Yeah, he's still acting. He was just in Taste of My Love. Now this was Melanie. She was born in 79 LA, and ain't no pictures of her. Like, she ain't on social media. She ain't on nothing. I can't find anything that got to do with her. She probably the smartest person on earth. She may be the most intelligent person on earth. No social media that anybody can find. She grew up in Atlanta, lived in LA. And, of course, we just saw him as his new role as a police officer. And we couldn't find that's Goo. And yeah, so that's it. And it's crazy. It's not that much information about the show like that. Like, it just kind of went away, disappeared. Only had 13 episodes, which I guess that do make sense. Somebody said that's why I don't nobody remember the show. But I got so many great memories of the show. And it's just amazing that it was kind of a trailblazing show. It was the first all black, well, mainly except for hey, we forgot about the white kid. Let's see what he ended up doing with his life. Let's see. Let's go here. Because I forgot his name in here too. Let's see. Cass. Let's see. Did they even plug him into this? Let's see. Keith Bubba Naylor. He played Harry White. We ain't got nothing on him. The only show he did was My Brother and Me, and they ain't even got no trivia on him. What? Damn, Harry White. That's it. We all know Kim Whitley. She did a couple of episodes. Vanessa Baden, I believe she was on Gullah Gullah Island. Moo was Goo's little brother. I'm saying this like y'all can see. So this was Harry White. They didn't have no information on Harry White. He was a little white kid on there. No information. Nothing on him. Let's see who else. Kim Whitley, y'all know her from Friday. She's a character actress. She can act. She funny. She done been on a plethora of shows. Y'all know who it is. She played like in 2 episodes. She was like a school teacher or something. No, she worked at the comic book store. That's where she worked at. She worked at the comic book store. We know Vanessa Baden. She was from Gullah Gullah Island, if I'm not mistaken. And we can't even click on hers. Let's see. Yeah, and Kenan and Kel. Yeah, she was on both them shows. Which we're going to have to do something on Kenan and Kel and all that as well. Do the history on that. Who else was on this show? These was just people that was on there once or twice. So we don't care about that. But Willie Brunson, he was Moo. Which was Goo's little brother. But yeah, man. But I had so many memories of that show. It felt like growing up. I guess I was watching the reruns, and at 12 and 13, time don't work the same as it do now that we older or whatever. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess, man. It is what it is, I guess. L. Bitty said, I still remember watching Heat of the Night with my grand. In the heat of the night. That show was gangster. And when that, oh, okay, I almost got Carol mixed up with the white guy mixed up with Matlock, because I thought they was the same dude for a minute. They are not. They are not the white guy. Be a Blessing said, they set my baby up. That's crazy. That's definitely a MySpace profile pic. And see, this is why I thought it was gonna be way more to this deep dive and stuff, but ain't no deep dive to do. Amanda Seals the only person that really went on to do something. Everybody else just thugging it out. Maybe let's see. Hold on. Now I'm kind of intrigued. Maybe Alfie done did, you know, because I looked him up on the YouTube. Let's see if we can find some of his music. Rap. Maybe we can find something. Let's see. Here we go. Cause I think his nickname was a show business 15 years ago. Let's see.
Yeah, what it is? Statement in the cool. Over at the studio.
They are definitely in the trap. This is trapped out. This is a trap.
My nigga sell half of the
In the studio with the goose. 2 times get your mind right.
Alfie got that Joe Budden beard.
In the studio with the goose. And the kid, Mr. Moxie himself.
Wait, he only got one side of the beard? Wait, hold on.
2 times get your mind right. In the studio with the goose. And the
Let's
kid,
see if he can spit. He
Mr.
might can
Moxie
spit.
himself.
Dubs and Ad-Lib.
They call me One Take Timmy in this bitch. nigga. T.I. you it though. Turn it up or turn it down.
Show them, biz. Show them,
No,
biz.
no,
Dad,
right?
no, hyenas, baby. They're hyenas
In the
shit,
building.
dig? You dig? They're hyenas shit. You better watch out. You better watch out. The dad of the building.
That's not a chain that you should put in the camera. Like this is that's a chain you chuck in. You should tuck in, but not because of Debo coming, but just cause so nobody else can see it.
This is the dad.
Yeah, you might want to YouTube this. You know what I'm saying? Twitter, MySpace, Facebook. It don't get no realer than that. You got a lion and a hyena in the same building. You dig? It's a jungle in here.
Like a skit. When you go get to rapping? This remind me of Dave Chappelle when he said, "Turn my headphones up, turn them up." And you go get to rapping the wet, Alfie.
I'm so hot, I'm fly. I keep broccoli. The sun and jelly bean bright. The only difference is I'm the future of the league. Who knew he would be this nice? Raw in the paint. Bust a nutty on the bike. Fucking everything moving. Label me abusive. Hands and feet on you. Whip him in the front yard and that was for trying to block. I'm holding the full house.
Is he rapping this? This is an audio book. Was that a haiku? I'm not understanding what's happening right now. I'm thoroughly confused. Maybe I done caught a contact from the audio and because it's more smoke going in the mic than raps.
Metaphorically speaking, my cannon takes snapshots. High. I'm so high, I'm fly. Nah, I mean flying. I keep broccoli like the Jolly Green Giant. I'm the MVP, the sun and jelly bean Bryant. The only difference is I ain't losing in the finals. The future of the league like Andrew Bynum. Who knew he would be this nice? Where'd you find him? Raw in the paint like, get that boy a condom. Bustin' nutty on the mic, you can say I'm skeeting on him. Fucking everything moving, let's say I'm cheating on you. Label me abusive, that mean I'm beating on you. Hands and feet on you, till it rope like okra. Whip him in the front yard and lay him on the sofa. That was for trying to block.
Okay, I guess them was the ad libs, but I'm sorry, I can't just just keep. Unfortunately, and see, this is the problem with child stars. They can't never escape. They can't never escape the image that we done grew up with them on. Like, I can't, not that I can't take him serious as a thug. I can take him serious as a thug, but just not as a rapper. It's very hard for them to be able to transition into, you know, the new persona or role that they want us to look at them as in. That was 15 years ago, so that was what? It's 2025 now, 2020, and so that was 2010. That was definitely the OJ Juice Mane time. Around that time, I was definitely bumping some OJ Juice Mane. You know, hopefully doing good. Wow, it's so sad. I thought that show was gonna be deeper. So let's see. The next show actually gonna have to be I guess Pete and Pete. Which should we? I'm gonna put a poll in the chat, and y'all let us know. Should we do Pete and Pete or Married with Children next time? Hold on. Start the poll. It won't even let. Oh wait. And let's see. Out of 13 votes, half of y'all, 54% of y'all watched it growing up. Didn't it seem like it was more episodes than that though? It really felt like it was more episodes. Let's see. Which show should we do next? Because I know for a fact Married with Children got a deep lore and deep stuff going into it. Married with Children too long. Al Bundy, because that's what everybody called it back in the day. Pete. But these are two millennial shows. Cause I remember my mom's had bought this TV. It was a JVC TV. It was like, what year was it? It might have been 90, 91. It's the first. And it was like, it had the lock on it, like a parental lock you can put on it. And she blocked me from watching. She tried to block me from watching Married with Children. And I remember she had went to work. She worked at night. I remember I sit. It was only 4 digits. I sit like for hours until I guessed that code. And I finally guessed that code. And I was watching it, and then I lock it up before she came home. Yeah, I remember that. Let's see. 4 votes. Everybody saying Al Bundy. Okay, Al Bundy. All right, bet. We gonna give it a little bit more time. We got 13 folks in here, and shout out to all 13 of y'all. It feel like 1,300 to me. And we're gonna see what everybody else got to say, and then we'll do the Al Bundy. How long was on here? 46 minutes? Wow. It feels like I was only on here for 5 minutes. And it feels like that whole 5 minutes was looking at Alfie smoking a blunt. That's what it felt like to me. Let's see. What's up, Poison Ivy? What's up, Virgo Harmony? Let's see. Super, this how you gonna be when you record the song for your wife? Be like, no, I'm gonna be like this. Turn my microphone up, please. Turn the microphone up, please. That's how I'm gonna be on mine. The elder smoke out. Let's see. Fisticuffs. Yes, it is fisticuffs. Oh, the Chappelle show was funny. All right, it's looking like Al Bundy winning hands down. What time is it? It's 9:19, but I gotta go though because of I'm kind of sleepy, but I gotta get some videos ready for the whatchamacallit for the struggle stream tomorrow. So let me see. I guess I'll hop on and do the Al Bundy. Might be same bat place, same bat time next week. But I'm gonna do my research. Then my goal for this channel, I want to do these lives, the reminiscing lives, but I also want to kind of do them videos where it be all professional and stuff, and they be like, in 1987, actor so and so was found face up. But it's gonna be about the movie. It's gonna be about the shows though, and I want to kind of do, you know what I'm saying. But I'm be honest, I do just want to chop it up and we reminisce about hilarious episodes. But this show it wasn't like that. But I know with Al Bundy, I got a top 10 Al Bundy list for sure episodes, and I still to this day live by No Ma'am. I'm talking about the No Ma'am episodes is some of my favorite. So we gonna have fun with the Al Bundy episode and stuff. So I'm gonna get that ready for the next week episode. And yeah, y'all can tune in over here. Also, I'm gonna be talking about am I gonna just do that on the other channel? I'll probably do that on the other channel. So yeah, but I'm gonna be trying to find some stuff. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put in a community post some ideas we could do for this show, because I want us to talk about millennial and zennial issues, and then reminisce as well over here, and just talk about stuff that affects us, not but stuff we grew up with though. You know what I'm saying? Like mainly, like this is mainly a nostalgia channel, and we just talk about the old and good old times because right now everybody getting beat down by real life. So I want us to go way back into time to the early 90s, the mid 80s, and just talk about them type of things, and even the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Talk about our teenage years and things back when life was simpler. Honestly, it kind of wasn't simpler then. When I was growing up, all the parties were getting shot up and stuff. So But it didn't feel complicated though. I guess because it was just regular life. Let's see. That show was on for like 8 years, so it's a lot. Yep, it's a lot of episodes and there's a lot of stuff to go into. I think Bud started out as a kid and ended with a beard. He did. He really did. He really did. Thanks for the walk down memory lane. No problem, loves dance. Silencer, what's up, Silencer? I ain't seen you in a long time, man. The good old days, back when Rodney King was getting his back when riots were afoot and and crack cocaine was ravaging the communities. You know, the good old back when at least in my city you couldn't wear solid colors to the mall. You know, the great old days. Even with all of that, the days was good. We had Snick, Ren and Stimpy. We still had the mall. Like the mall was just imagine, even with all the crazy stuff, the mall was the place to be. Like, we the last generation that really got to enjoy the mall. The 2000 kids and stuff, they didn't get to enjoy the mall. My kids be going to the mall, but you know what they do? They go to the mall to actually shop. Like, they go to the mall, buy stuff, and leave. They don't just loiter at the mall like that. Not real loitering. Like, we was really loitering at the mall. Like, our parents was dropping us at the mall when it opened, and we wasn't leaving until it closed. Like, the mall was a daycare. Period. For preteens and teenagers. We lived in the mall. Before it was PlayStation, to play the real good games, you had to be at the mall, the arcade. We had Sam Goody and Tower Records, Virgin Records and stuff. Listening to music, loitering, pretending like we had the $20 to buy that damn CD. And we really kind of only had $20 when we go to the mall. They don't know nothing about going to Sombreros, spending most of your mall money on that big slice of pizza. And Sombreros is still in the mall, actually. But now they try to look all high class. They don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about Dippin' Dots, where you spent $22 in today's money on a sample size of some frozen cream balls. They don't know. I missed the mall. Matter of fact, that's gonna be episode 2. The mall in the 80s and 90s, and then the downfall of the mall. 80s, 90s, and really I can really only speak for the mall because I remember being a child and going to the mall in the 80s, and it was just like the mall was like this magical place. And then when I turned the 90s, it just felt like the place to be. And then in the 2000s, it was like, ugh, mall. Mall just kind of, you know what I'm saying? And it's still some nice malls around here, you know what I'm saying? But it's not the same feeling. It's not the same feeling. These kids, they be on their phones. Like, people just walk around the mall like this. Back in the day when we was at the mall, we was posted up. We was looking at people in the eyeballs like, yeah, you. Come here. They don't do that no more. Like, it ain't no more posting. Now, what I just did right there, that's called sexual harassment now. Hey, can I get your number? A girl walk by you be like, you kind of tap on their elbow, whatever. I'm going to jail in 2025. Children they don't know what's going on these days. Mall was so fun. What else was mall adjacent? Like, that was just in the mall. Like, there's still pretzels. They still got the pretzel place in the mall. American Cookies is still in the mall. The Greatest Cookies, America's Greatest Cookies. I think that's the name of it or something. Greatest American Cookie. But it just ain't the same. So the mall, but we gonna talk about for TV. You know what? Let's come up with different topics. So we got lifestyle, life. Tell me why all these artists done mess me up in the head on spelling life. I'm sitting here spelling life L-Y-F-E. L-I-F, lifestyle type topics. So we can talk about the mall. And The stores and them all like. Remember when the Gap was actually like a cool place? The shop at. So we gonna talk about the mall, the stores, the food and stuff like that. Them lifestyle topics, and then TV, then music of the '90s, TV shows, kid shows, yeah. And we'll revisit food every now and then and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna come up with a good itinerary for reminiscing and researching. We gonna find out where some of these places, the things and places we love started. We gonna do that. Eddie Ward said, "Oh yeah, I just watched Inspector Gadget, and I was like, Penny had an Apple Watch for anybody. She sure did. She sure did." Silasur said, "You must trying to do a show on how Life Jennings fell off." I forgot all about dude. Wasn't he like a bootleg mixture between Music Soul Child and Jaheim? That's what he felt like. Poison Ivy, I remember the way Hollister was so loud and smack. Yo, Hollister was a weird. Abercrombie was a weird place to go into too. All them places used to have like spray day colognes and everywhere too. I don't think I ever walked in a Hollister though. It's some stores I ain't walked to, so I was grown. Spencer's Hot Topic with an edgy mall store. Yeah, now I ain't gonna lie, I would go into Spencer's and stuff just to go see the freaky stuff in the back. And the cartoon t-shirts and stuff, but mainly to go look at the freaky stuff in the back. That's what I was up in there for. I ain't never going Hot Topic. They don't let the kids even hang in the mall all day anymore. They have a time limit, or they have to be accompanied by the work. Wow. Eddie Ward said, "I worked at Sbarro. Woo, boy, you talking about great subpar pizza? It was like the top tier of subpar. Every time I ate at Sbarro, I'll be eating. I'm like, it's pizza." Because it wasn't like super top notch, but I did like getting the layered kind. Sbarro tastes the best at the airport though. Like Sbarro tastes the best at places where it ain't nothing else you can eat. Like you only got a small selection. That's where Sbarro tastes the best at. That's why it ain't no real standalone Sbarro. I think it was in New York, but I don't think they spread out like that. But that's just my opinion. Y'all might love y'all some Sbarro, so I ain't trying to hate. We also need to do best sitcom theme song. You right. Theme songs. That's a great topic. Theme songs. What else you got up there? Yeah, he was like a great value D'Angelo. Okay. All right. I remember he had a beard before beards was real cool like that too. But it felt like he had a struggle beard. I can't remember. I don't remember looking him directly in the face like that, but it felt like it was a struggle beard. Baby Ron was up in the mall ordering them patchy pizzas. I was on it. I was talking about beeline to the Sbarro. Beeline, buddy. All right, I'm about to get off this thing. Appreciate y'all for hanging with me tonight. And just make sure y'all check the community tab, and I will be letting y'all know what's going on as we move along. And Poison Ivy, hold on before I leave. There was always a place in the food court giving out bourbon chicken samples. Like who at? Would you like chicken free sample? No, thank you. No, thank. And what's crazy about that is, hold on. The craziest thing about that, you pass by. This how you know they weren't paying no attention. You passed by one time, and you could have just been gone for 2 seconds just to go look somewhere. You pass by again, they asked you like they didn't ask you 2 minutes ago. This is chicken. I was like, look, I thought I told you no, like real like 3 seconds. You see, I got a bag of McDonald's right here. What are you talking about? I got food. I said no to you. Went in I know you saw me go by the damn. I know you saw me go to Sbarro's. No, I don't want no chicken. But then one day I finally tasted it and I felt like I was missing out. I was like, oh my gosh, for 20 years I've been saying no to that woman, and they chicken was actually not as crappy as I thought it was gonna be. Let's see. Free sample. Maude was cool. Golden Girls was a spinoff of Maude. I did not know Maude was a Girls and Girls spinoff. Ooh, that's a show we need to do update on too. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. So married. See, this pen trash. My wife stole all my good pens. Oh no, she didn't. These pens right here, these Precise V5 pens, these is the best pens on earth. I love these pens. I used to give people tattoos in junior high. Like, people would literally have me do tattoos on them in this. All right. Married with Children. Then Golden Girls. We should do Heat of the Night too, since L. Bitty brought it up. Heat of the Night. I'm gonna still do Pete and Pete. We gonna do all the Nickelodeon shows. What is that? Keenan and Kel. We gonna do best theme songs of 80s, 90s. The Mall. What else was popping? Lifestyle. Life. We gonna do Life before cell phones. Cause that, I remember Life before cell phones. Now I'm gonna be honest, I bought a cell phone in 97 and I had a pager since like 96. However, it wasn't like that's back when the chargers, it wasn't no chargers in your car like that and all that stuff. Battery would actually die. You only had so many minutes, XYZ, so it wasn't that Life. So I want to talk about that too. And Life before social media too, like media. Foods we liked. Which I know we already talked about that, but still though. Ooh, we can talk about toys and games too. Nobody's in the mall arcade. Somewhat do the mall arcade. You know what's crazy about the mall arcade? The mall arcade ain't nothing but the games on phone. Like, they had that big giant versions of that game where the man you swipe left and right to dodge all the stuff. Like, it's just the phone games at the arcades. Even if when you go to them you know, like Penn Stack and all them places that's, you know, they ain't even got no arcades no more. Everything is at the house now, man. It's crazy. The Jeffersons came from All in the Family. I did know that. Matlock was the best. Oh, yeah, Matlock. Ooh, we need to do soap operas too, because All My Children and Young and the Restless was the bomb. Young and the Restless, All My Children. I'm be honest, them the only two I watched. So I'm be honest, I'm probably just gonna do it on there. We ain't never get caught up in Days of Our Lives and all them other ones. But my mama, woo boy, All My Children, Young and the Restless. Oh, you getting stabbed if you do anything to disturb those. And the game shows of them times, like Price is Right, which was right in front of All My Children. But what was that show where it was like, no women, stop? What was that show? Press Your Luck. That was the name of that show. Pictionary, all them shows. Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. We gonna talk about all them shows. But we gonna talk about the ones other than just Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. But we gonna talk about all the ones, the little itty bitty ones that didn't make it as well. Falcon Crest. That was one of them. Nighttime was like Dallas. Falcon Crest. So we go group that up into nighttime dramas. Then was nighttime soaps. Falcon Crest, Dallas, it was a bunch of Dynasty. Let's see. I was 8, invested in Victor Newman and Jack App for real. Like, I wanted to be Victor Newman when I grew up. I was like, man, Victor Victor run General City. Like you wasn't nothing moving. It was between the Newmans and I believe it was the Abbotts. And I was talking about they went to what's her name? I remember she had them big chandeliers. And I remember it started with a C. What was her name? Anyway, but I remember the first time I learned about the R word was from that show. Because Cricket had got R word, and that was like a long thing, and she had to recover and a whole bunch of stuff. It was crazy. And I remember like not completely understanding Mrs. Chancellor, that show who it was. And I remember like really trying to wrap my head around it as what it was. And I remember like it clicked. I was like, oh my gosh, it's crazy, yo. But yeah, we definitely gotta talk with her about that. Ooh, Three's Company. And see, this is where everything, because we grew up off of reruns from the 70s and the 60s too. So that's a part of our DNA as well. So yes, Three's Company. I ain't even know what Three's Company was really about till I got old, neither. Let's see. What else y'all talking about in here? Facts of Life, yep. So we gonna put Facts of Life and them kind of shows under feel good 80s. Cause it was a bunch of them shows. You felt all warm and fuzzy at the end. Mrs. Garrett. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life, damn it. Everything ended all good at the end of them shows in the 80s. It was always wrapped up in a nice little bow. And you be ready for next week's problem. Wow. Yeah, we're going to talk about all of that. Let's see. Yeah, ooh, TGIF. I forgot about TGIF. We gonna put that on the TV show lineups because every day, it was like the hood, right? And every station had their corner, right? So Fox had Sundays locked down with The Simpsons and The Simpsons, In Living Color, Married with Children, the Tracy Ullman Show. I remember that was what Fox had on Sundays. I can't remember Monday night, but of course Friday had TGIF. Oh, Monday, NBC had it locked down on Saturdays and Sundays, because on Saturdays was the Golden Girls, Empty Nest. I think that airplane show. What was that airplane show that came on before them? And there was one more show that came on Saturdays. Thursday, NBC had it locked down with the Cosby Show, In a Different World, and Seinfeld and Cheers. On Tuesdays, before they moved Full House to TGI Fridays, because I grew up on TV, I remember these schedules like the back of my head. On Tuesdays on ABC was Roseanne. Wednesday was Home Improvement, but ABC had something else on Tuesday. I think Coach. It was Coach, Roseanne. What was that other show? It was a show about a military person. Then remember Designing Women? That was on CBS. Oh, Monday was CBS, because CBS had Murphy Brown, Designing Women, and some other show. Thursday NBC, Monday was CBS, Tuesday was ABC, Wednesday was ABC, Friday was ABC, Saturday was NBC, and Sunday was Fox. Wow. All this shit rushing back. I remember sitting there watching all these shows. That's crazy. Why did Nick at night have us watching black and white shows from the 60s? Yeah, for real though. There's money. Now, I'm being, I know the history of all of that. That was just money things. And matter of fact, we're going to do the history of Nickelodeon. I don't know if y'all know the history of Nickelodeon, but it's very interesting. It is very interesting, Nick. And the history of cable in general. The history of cable TV is incredible. And it is very incredible because a lot of people don't know. Picking what you wanted to watch has been around since the 70s. Okay? it was when before cable was the cable we know about it. It was super expensive, but it was these certain channels, and it was this box that you could buy, and you actually like could play live games and stuff like that in the late 70s. We go get into that. Matter of fact, history of cable, history of history, HBO, TV. This what's gonna happen. We gonna do the history of cable, the history of then Nickelodeon, HBO. These all separate. Then the history of Nickelodeon, history of HBO, the history of CNN. Because CNN was like the first 24-hour news channel. MTV, of course, you know what that was. But MTV wasn't the first music channel, though. But Nickelodeon was the first kids channel. And HBO, of course, was like one of the first movie channels. But it wasn't the first movie channel. But we gonna go into the history of all that because the technology. Oh, and video games. We're gonna talk about that. You know what? I think my format is gonna be this. I think I'm gonna put together these videos, drop them for the algorithm, and then we go do lives about them and go into further detail about them. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Cause this is my paper full of ideas right now. I think it's too white for y'all to see. The white balance is all messed up, but I literally wrote down everything y'all putting up. Love Connection, I forgot about that. And it was hella dating shows. Let me see. Time stuff. Dating shows. Single out. Ooh, late night show. Ooh, that's a good one, Silent Sir. Yes, late night shows. Let's see. Tuesday with what is that you put up there? Oh yeah, late night shows. And then we could talk about the Jay Leno versus Conan O'Brien with the late night shows as well. And how just gangster Johnny Carson was on some very shady shit. And we could talk about that too. And then we can talk about commercials, infomercials. Like the food dehydrator. I'm talking about, I ain't even want no damn food dehydrator, but I watch it every time they came on. And that food slicer thing, I'm talking about, I'm watching that. I was watching all of them. I used to hate the beginning of Reading Rainbow. Oh yeah, PBS. We gotta talk about them public broadcasting shows. Did you know the majority of them shows was from Canada? The Reading Rainbow. Let's see. Oh, Unsolved Mysteries. That was a scary ass show. That music, my mama used to love that. Watching them talking about abducted kids and aliens and stuff, and I had to go to sleep right after that. All right, boy, go in there and go to bed. I'm like, mama, look, I'm not trying to get abducted by the great aliens. We just seen We seen they did reenactments and everything. They had a good budget in Unsolved Mysteries too. And that music. Scary shows. Do y'all remember? Check this out. I like y'all, cause y'all, you know who y'all like? Yeah, this how I know we old and we like our parents. You remember your parents used to take you over to like a cousin house, and then you would be over there for a minute, and then your mama would be like, it's time to go. And so y'all get up to the door, and your mama walk out the door, and then her and your auntie would talk for 20, 34 minutes while you standing right there next to her and stuff. And you be like, I'm fixing to go play. But like, no, we about to go. But she don't never go because they sit and talk. That's what we doing right now. I was supposed to leave 30 minutes ago. And we sitting at the door talking. Hey, but check this out. Hey, check this out, though. Hold on. Y'all remember, what's that? Scary TV shows of the 80s and 90s. I want to talk about this because it's this show that came on. I don't know if people go remember it. These was kid shows. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I know y'all remember that. Goosebumps, I know you remember that. Nightmare Room. Tales from the Crypt Keeper. But that ain't the show I'm talking about. Tales of the Crypt, Unsolved Mysteries, X-Files, Twin Peaks. This the show? Do y'all remember Friday the 13th? The TV show? Please tell me if y'all remember that show. It wasn't about Jason or nothing. It was like these different stories. It was a whole bunch of different stories. And they had a story about fame that we gonna talk about. The show was about an antique shop, and it was three people that worked at the antique shop, and their job was to go out and find all of the haunted and cursed antiques that people had. Please tell me I remember this show. Hold on, but we gonna talk about it. This was the show right here. Let's see. Let me see. Do I remember that? Y'all remember this show? That show had a bunch of good scary stories. Do y'all remember Monsters? Hold on. This had a whole bunch. It was like an anthology show. Oh my gosh, I ain't seen this really since I was young.
Honey, it's family hour. There must be something on.
Oh, wow! Candy critters!
Y'all remember this show?
Oh, great. It's Monsters, our favorite show.
It's starting.
This show was so creepy. The stories they told. Some of them be funny, but that show was creepy as hell. Freddy's Nightmares, that was about Freddy Krueger. It was kind of trash. I didn't know Poltergeist. I didn't watch that one. That was 96. Outer Limits, that was 95. But yeah, we're going to talk about them scary shows. In the history. And a lot of them people that wrote them shows and stuff went on to do some great other TV work and stuff. Al Jarreau, we're in this love together. Oh, he sure did do the Moonlighting show. I don't remember the words to that, but I remember like the melody of it. Al Jarreau was the bomb though. Always wearing them pastel. His closet was full of white pants. I never seen Al Jarreau in anything other than white pants ever in my life. With that being said, I think I done only seen that dude like 3 times in my life though. But every time it looked like he was prepared for Easter. Let's see. Who remembers Square One from Square One? Do, 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 do. Square One. Do, 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 Square One's my favorite shit. And Math Man, and then at the end they have MathNet, the two detectives and stuff. I'm talking about. I love Square One so much because I hated math. I ain't understanding it at all. But they made me not understand anything that they was trying to explain to me very plainly, very entertaining. I still left the show very confused. But I was like, you know what? I'm entertained. I still don't know how to do fractions to this day, no matter how easily they broke it down. But shout out to Square One for giving it an attempt. Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Shows of that nature. Hey Dudes, Salute Your Shorts. They was some popping shows. Green Acres, I didn't catch them episodes, them reruns. By the time we got cable, I don't think they were showing Green Acres on Nickelodeon no more. Yeah, Lassie I wasn't into Lassie neither. I couldn't get into it. I said, hey boy, what? Oh my gosh, the house is on fire. And he go run. I'll be like, this, I can't. My suspension of disbelief. Same thing with Mr. Ed and stuff. I was like, come on, really? Really? And that's how I know Quaaludes were prevalent during the 60s and 50s and stuff. Folks was watching that. It's Quaaludes. Oh my gosh, The Simpsons was on Thursday for a second, weren't they? Yeah, they want to go. They couldn't do nothing to the Cosby Show. Cosby Show was running it. Cosby Show was running it. The Nanny was on CBS. I remember, but I ain't watching it. By the time I really wasn't big on CBS shows outside the 80s because I remember Give Me a Break and CBS, they was struggling outside of like Murphy Brown and stuff like that. They was always trying to get some. They was popping with like Murder, She Wrote and stuff on the Sundays and stuff. But CBS was an old people's channel, really, to be honest. They had the daytime popping with the I think Sally Jesse Raphael came on there. Ooh, we got to talk about the talk shows too. Because Donahue had serious stuff going on the Donahue show. Like it was seriosity going on. Yeah, we gonna talk about them shows too, for sure. Moonlight, that was an ABC show. ABC had them high quality shows. Like ABC was the closest. That was the closest thing to like HBO quality shows. Remember NYPD Blue was the first show that was showing ass, just raw ass on TV and saying shit. I was like, oh my gosh. But it was good quality. It was like a movie and stuff. I used to hate the beginning. How you gonna hate the beginning of Reading Rainbow? Come on now, bro. If you didn't, I'm be honest, Edward. You. If I ain't know you from if I ain't know you had a soul from other, conversations and stuff, I'll be like, I don't know if you might not have no soul. And I ain't talking about in the soul music kind of way. I'm talking about literal soul on earth. How you ain't like the Reading Rainbow? And do you know the origins of the Reading Rainbow theme? It was this guy, the composer, because I just watched the documentary about Reading Rainbow, and he was in there messing with his synthesizer, and he heard that, and there was an arpeggiator that he was using. He was like, yo, I think this is dope. Put that thing down, came up with the words to hit, I want to say, what's her name? Is it Regina? Regina Bell? Wait, what's her name? I forgot who sung it. But anyway, how he put that beat together, though, he might as well have been Manny Fresh to me. When I seen him put that beat together, it was all electronics until he got to his bass and stuff like that. How you not gonna like that song, man? Ooh, the science shows. Them was some good shows. Bill Nye and Beekman's World. I'm gonna do the history of Saturday morning cartoons and the toys and stuff too. And we gonna talk about and then Saturday morning cartoons, what was that? Oh yeah, and Y'all remember Mr. Wizard on Nickelodeon? When we didn't have cable, I used to go with my friend's house in the morning. My mom had to go to work earlier. Then it was time for me to go to school. She would drop me off at my friend's house, and her mama used to like try to teach her spelling words and be in there like, I'm talking about uncomfortably giving her hella beatings. Like, I'm talking about, it wasn't just regular whoopings. This beat, and I'll be in there eating a Jimmy Dean sausage biscuit, hoping she would stop crying long enough to where I could hear Mr. Wizard teach the children. I'm talking about, because it was so normal. I was like, every day she go in there and she be flunking. And her mom, I was like, oh my gosh, will you please pipe down? It is called abacus, is the word. Gee whiz, I'm trying to watch the show. Because I'm talking about, she get a whooping for 30 minutes straight. Then her mama would take her to school, be real nice to me. It was crazy. If it was a day, I would have called 911. But at the time, it was just regular, But I really should have called 911. Someone please dial 911. I was young, too. I was like 8, 9. I ain't even think about nothing about that. Ooh, Julia Childs and Bob Ross. Bob Ross was so soothing as a youngster just to watch, and you just be like, how his hair standing up like that? At least but them cooking shows was real good on PBS. Y'all show, right? We gonna put science shows cooking. Yeah, them cooking shows was real good. Poison Ivy said we had a substitute teacher whose haircut was so bad we called him Mr. Floby. Their haircutting system hooked up to the vacuum machine. Oh, I remember that. And it had the little attachments at the end, and it would suck the hair out. Yeah, I remember that. Supermarket Sweep was so gangster. I wanted to go on that show so bad when I was little. Man, I wanted to go on Supermarket Sweep so bad. Dang, that show was so... Dude, I thought them people was like the luckiest people ever. Let's see. Yeah, while we edit, we gonna talk about different strokes. Different strokes. I was too young to actually get into by the time I was old enough to really watch TV like that, Different Strokes was off the air, because I think it probably went off in the early 80s and stuff. So I don't even remember watching reruns of Different Strokes like that. I know like the episode, the bike episode, but I saw that like when it was kind of when people would talk about it, but I ain't never really get into that show. But I did watch the documentary about Gary Coleman, and Gary Coleman was a little butthole on the set of of the set of Different Strokes. It's kind of hard to say it wasn't his fault though, because his whole life, Gary Coleman had a very tragic, sad life. He really did. Like it really wasn't no. He was really kind of set up to fail from his parents to the Hollywood whole set, and his illness, that made him stunning his growth and stuff, and he had to go get some type of injections or something like his entire life, like forever. So it's sad, man. What you talking about, Willis? I only remember that from 70s babies talking about it like that, but I was seeing it. I was like, oh, that's his catchphrase. Okay. What you talking about, Willis? Let's see. I don't like it. I'm a scared cat. What y'all talking about? I'm about to watch Tales from the Hood when we get off. I know it sounds bad, but it's all good. These are the tales from the hood. But it's all good. Shout out to Domino, man. Domino had some hits, and then he just disappeared. Man. That movie, it wasn't necessarily scary to me. Now the one about the little dolls, the racist thing, that was kind of scary. Not scary, but it was one of them, like, they did a good job with that. But then at the end, you know, when old buddy, like, you know, turns into the devil and stuff, was like, welcome to hell or whatever. Well, that was funny. Like, that was funny. Tales from the Dark Side, I don't think I ever watched it. In addition to Gary Coleman versus Webster. Oh, Webster, that was a good show. Woo woo. No, they hated Webster. Them two. That show wasn't even supposed to be about him. That show was supposed to be about that ex-football player and him after being, you know, in sports and stuff. And then Webster came and the network was like, look, old white man, I understand that you want this show and stuff, but look at this guy. Look at this. You see those cheeks? And guess what? He can't grow any bigger. Like, he's gonna be like this forever. We keep this show forever. Like, we never have to go off the air. I'm sorry. The show's about this little guy right here from now on. Now, I'm pretty sure they used different words and terms back then, but that's struggle stream language. I thought Al Bundy was Freddie when you know what? Wow. Him and the actor do kind of look like now. I'm picturing in my head. Oh, today's special. Now, I was a little too young by the time I got to really watching, but I was there for Pinwheel. Y'all remember Pinwheel spinning around. Look at my pinwheel and see what I found. But I remember smidges of Daily Special. That was a Canadian show too. Yeah, that's gonna be in the history of the Nickelodeon thing. I ain't gonna have to write that down. Let's see. Eureka's Castle, Fraggle Rock. Now, I was jealous when Eureka's Castle and Fraggle Rock was popping. We didn't have cable back then and stuff. So by the time we had cable, I was like a teenager. I could only see it at other people's house and stuff. So I ain't never get into Eureka's Castle. And by the time I could see Fraggle Rock, I was dejected and pretty upset that I missed those Muppet type shows and stuff. But Sesame Street held me over. Hey, he said Ron was already jaded as before I really was. My mama kept it real with me. I didn't grow up believing in Santa Claus. She didn't tell. All of the festivities that children, my parents told me everything. Like, I already knew everything. I got in trouble in kindergarten for telling them kids they was excited about Santa Claus. Like, look, you know that's your parents, right? And real talk, they called my mama because the teacher kept telling me to stop saying it. But I was like, it's true, but it's true. And they called my mama up to the school, and she was like, look, you got to stop telling the kids that. I was like, mama, but it's true, though. You told me to tell the truth. And then she taught me, I learned at a very early age that lying is necessary to make it through this world. That's when I learned about necessary lying, white lies. Because I had to lie. Kid come up and tell me, oh, aren't she excited about Santa? Instead of me being able to say, you know, ain't no Santa Claus, I'd have to just look at him and not say nothing. And just like, Miss Howard was my kindergarten teacher. I remember her. She was a nice lady. Let's see. Did someone say Perfect Strangers? We gonna cover that in the TGI Fridays. When we talk about TGI Fridays. And Family Matters was a spinoff of Perfect Strangers. It's crazy because Harriet was the elevator operator. And it's crazy and kind of dope in retrospect that they said, you know what, Harriet, we giving you a spinoff show. Ricky Lake, we got to talk about that Ricky Lake. Go Ricky, do do do. Wait, how the music go? Do do do. Do, 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 do. She come out there doing her dance. Go Ricky, go Ricky. Hey, y'all remember that one episode of Ricky Lake when she did that thing? Hold on, let me see if we find it. You know what, I'm gonna save it. I would say that, but it was one episode. It was one episode of Ricky Lake where the dude came on there. It was one of them shows like you dissed me back in the day. And now I blew up. Now I done glowed up or whatever. They didn't use the term glow up, but it was like, but look at me now. And that was back when, like, before they was just outright playing people, like outright, like having them make up stories to come on and making up a story. It was really people like calling in and coming on there. And it was a dude. And this was back when everybody looked regular. You know what I'm saying? And there's a dude, he on stage. And she was like, yeah, Keith, the so-and-so want to come and show you they blew up. And he was a handsome dude or whatever. And Lil Mama came out. I'm thinking, and everybody else thought she was about to be on a 9 or 10. All right. He was on some genuine status. Like, you knew girls wasn't no issue for her, but he's sitting there. She came out. It looked like she just put a wig on, I guess. That was her blow up situation. And he's just looking at her like he almost laughed, but he played it cool. And even the audience, everybody in the audience face was like, and she was like, yeah, look what you missed out on. He was like, Ricky, Ricky would try to be nice about, come on, Keith. Hey, aren't you worried about what you missing? Don't you feel like you missed out on something? And Keith was like, not really. Come on, Keith. No, come on, Keith. Come on, Keith, now. Come on. She's looking beautiful there, Keith. Ricky. But then Ricky Lake, like, she would have had the first ones where people was starting to beef and stuff. That was a good episode. So, but I was like, at the beginning of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, you ain't like the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood song? Look, Eddie, what type of childhood? You might need to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the and they zoom in on the little fake city. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. A beautiful day to be a neighbor. Won't you be mine? What? Won't you be mine? You ain't like that. And I always wondered why the hell he took off one jacket to put on another jacket. I always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. What? Wow. And Mr. Rogers was a G. And I still gotta watch that what's it called? Documentary on Mr. Rogers. Yep, Mr. Wizard's World. We was gonna talk about that. Montel with their fake psychic. Oh my gosh. She be like, Montel would run his ass through the crowd and stuff to show he was athletic and shit. He run over, give the microphone. All right. What do you got to say? It's like, yes, Sylvia, I need to, my mom died the other day and I just need to know what she thought about me before we died. People telling the whole damn story to the woman. She ain't even have to guess nothing. My mom died and I just need to know if she forgave me for everything she did. Sylvia sitting down there when I'm talking about they read their mouth so much I could see the look on her face like these motherfuckers, they really believe this stuff. She was like, hold on, your mom, yes, your mom, she forgives you. I feel her in the room. Oh my gosh, I feel her in the room. Your mom forgives you. She says it's all just water under the bridge. You can sleep easy now. Oh my gosh. Oh, I know it's her because I was having problems sleeping. Who the hell don't be having problems sleeping? Your mama died and y'all had some problems. That's it. She was a G. She knew that. I'm talking about finessing. I'm sorry, she was a finesser. Then some of the people when they be like, yes, they just say something random and then she asks some questions like, yes, what's gonna happen to my uncle? And it just be like, hold on, your uncle, let me see, I'm seeing something. What was it, the car accident? Are you talking about the car accident? No, it was no car accident. Oh no, not the car. That's not what I meant. I meant, was it the trip and fall at the local grocery store? Oh my gosh. Well, not necessarily at this time, but I did trip and fall at the gas station the other day. My uncle wasn't, and then she changed the whole subject and shit. Like, I'm talking about, it was a great finesse game. Them psychics, Sylvia Brand. I'm talking about, you know what? That I'm starting me a psychic clinic. Forget that. I'm starting my own psychic clinic. Start psychic clinic for money. That's how you make. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Next year, I'm taking my wife. We balling out on next year anniversary, and it's gonna be with my psychic money. I'll bet you that. Now the big comfy couch, that was after me. That I was grown by that time. If I'm gonna be honest, if I knew something about the big comfy couch with something to tell you, you might need to be calling the authorities. Okay, I remember seeing the show, but I don't know nothing about the show. I've been looking for this show, this phone. It was under my desk, man. It was under my desk. Yeah, Gullah Gullah Island. I was on the way out the door there, but that theme song was "Come and let's play together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah. Benya. I remember that. Let's see. I'm trying to watch my shows. Be considerate. Care Bears is one of my favorite. We gonna cover that in the history of Saturday morning cartoons and how they sold us millennials out. Cause Care Bears. Now the Smurfs actually was a cartoon for France, but the Care Bears was a product, and then the cartoon was to sell us the damn bears. Same thing. Now Strawberry Shortcake, she was actually a creation, I want to say, from Hallmark, and selling, cards. And then they was like, oh, we can pimp the kids too. Let's go on to pimp the kids. Make it a cartoon. Rainbow Bright, I believe she was a product. And then they made commercials to sell them toys. Everything was the Snuggles, the Snoozles, the Wuzzles, the Snorkels, and then the Wuzzles. The Wuzzles was them things that used to turn into like a pouch, but they was some animals and stuff. They was weird, but anyway, we just got sold commercials. All our childhood memories ain't nothing but commercials, people. We gonna talk about that. I was hot. Ooh, that's why I don't. If y'all watch me on anything, I don't know if y'all done seen, but I be like, ooh, I guarantee that this gumbo go be the best gumbo you ever had. It was because I used to watch the Cajun Gourmet. Man, and it's like I ain't gonna front. He seemed so old. Like he seemed like he was 400 years old when I was watching. I was like, we ain't gonna get an episode next week. I know we ain't. That's what I used to think, but I would watch him every week. Cajun Gourmet was a dude. Let's see. Hey, y'all be doing the fake supermarket rush too. The fake supermarket suite. Let's see. We definitely go talk about 90s TV shows for sure. Jamie Foxx show. This Jamie Foxx show is very strange because it was a hilarious show, but it had more seasons than Martin. And Martin really only the first 3.5 seasons was decent. Like once Gina left, but it's something about Jamie Foxx show that just don't. Especially when he started doing them jingles and stuff. Even though some of them episodes was hilarious. But we gonna talk about Jamie Foxx show. Steve Harvey show. We gonna talk about that. Benson. I remember Benson. We definitely gonna talk about Webster. And his brother on that show was getting diddy behind. Wait, on which show? Who we talking about got didditalized? Love's Dance. I forgot about the music related show. Oh yeah, Soul Train, American Bandstand. I used to watch all them shows. I remember Madonna came on there one time. You can be my lucky star. American Bandstand, Soul Train. Solid Gold. I remember Solid Gold. Oh my gosh, you just brought back unlocked a memory with Solid Gold. Now I don't remember Dance Party USA. I remember the infomercial was like Dance Party USA. Y'all ready for this? I remember the CD used to try to sell dance shows. And then I didn't know it was so many local dance shows. Did y'all know it was like in every city they had like their own version of Soul Train? Did y'all know that? I be watching this version that be showing old episodes from like the 80s and the 90s from Detroit and Florida, and they would be at roller skating rinks and shit. I did not know them shows existed, and by the grace of YouTube I get to time travel back. Ooh, talent shows of the 70s, 80s. Yeah, Star Search. Ooh, yeah, Star Search. And everybody named mama was on Star Search. Sinbad receives 2.5 stars. And we ain't never see them judges weren't famous back then. Aaliyah was on Star Search. Dave Chappelle was on Star Search. There's a lot of people went on Star Search. That Hanging Mr. Cooper gonna be a part of the TGIF episode. Zoobly Zoo, Zoobly Zoo, Zoobly Zoo. I remember that show. That had Ben Bereave in it. He was the zebra, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Kidney issues. Yes. Y'all remember Lamb Chop? This is a song. Wait, was that the Elephant Show with the song It Never Ends, or was it what's in the Cheryl Lewis, something in Lamb Chop with the puppet? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see. When Benson was a superintendent and leaned on me, I was like, why is he being so mean? Yeah, hey, he was butthole. He had to be though. He had to be. Let's see. Yeah, Ghetto Jam go hard. The Ghetto Jam is about to slam on the notes. I don't know the words. Outside of Ghetto Jam, I just make on the notes of the diggity ding. Only part I do remember, he was like, the finest when she's jacking me, she's throwing booty. So while you pros, the freak of the week, and I play you like a game of blackjack. And throw all that ass that she toted around as I offered the backpack. And since I do know that song. Wow. It's crazy how you be remembering stuff and you be like, oh my gosh, yeah. Let's see, Mr. and Mrs. Papadopoulos. Yeah, they ain't like Webster. They would have beat Webster's ass if they could. Oh, we need to talk about and I'm talking about in real life. They would have field goal punted that little dude if they could have. Yeah, we gotta talk about UPN and the WB. Cause they did black folks dirty. They used black folks to build up them platforms, and then hurried up and got all the black folks out the way. They did the game. I remember Dave Chappelle, he was like, welcome back. I can't say that on the YouTube on this channel, but y'all know. To the WB. Yep, we gonna talk about a different world. I was just watching the Pinwheel theme song a few weeks ago, 227. We gonna talk about that on, you know what? Black sitcoms. 80s. 90s. There is no place like home. I remember, boy, everybody named mama thought it was gonna marry Jackie. Jack A. Sandra. That was her name on 227, Sandra. Let's see. Sister, we gonna talk about that. Picture pages. That sound familiar. Hold on. We got to go to the share on that, because if that's what I think it is, let's see. Picture pages. Talking about that show, I'm getting goosebumps. That Picture Pages was so dope to me. I wanted that pen so bad, like that whole thing. And I want to say I had something similar to it. My mama bought me this book thing that you could touch to it, and it was talking. It was connected to the book thing. I remember that. And hey, all the Quaaludes and, you know, the Bill Cosby, you know, what he ended up getting found out that he was doing aside, his kid shows, whether it was Fat Albert or that, or, you know, his contributions to the educational spaces and shows was unmatched at the time. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. We can't take that away. Can't take that away. Yeah. Head of the Class. I remember Robin Givens being on there. Was like, and I was like, head of the class was like, what, 87, 88, 89? And I remember I was like nobody had to question then when head of the class came on. I had to sit down when head of the class came on. I couldn't just sit or go walk across in front of the TV in front of my mama when head of the class came on. Corny Wilson tried to do the Ricky Lake thing. Yeah, I remember that. I hate it. You know who shouldn't have had no damn talk show? That what's her name? Matter of fact, we gonna talk about folks who shouldn't have had talk shows. People who should not have had a talk show. Cause Vanessa from the Cosby Show, she shouldn't have had no damn show. Rolanda, she shouldn't have had no show. And look, I love you, Queen. I love you, Queen. But Queen Latifah shouldn't have had no show neither. She shouldn't have had no show. Let's see. Yeah, Maury, they knew how to do it. Ooh, dinosaurs. That's gonna be covered in TGI Fridays. That miniseries V about the aliens. Yo, and y'all know me. You know, V was a little close to comfort. Y'all remember this show right now? Speaking of alien shows, y'all remember this show? Y'all remember Alien Nation? Where they lived among us. And they had their own territories and stuff, and it was that alien cop and the human cop, and they would fight crime together. Y'all remember that show? We gotta talk about that show. Yeah, we gonna talk about alien shows from the 80s. What's that? Alien Nation, V. We gotta talk about Night Rider and shows like that too. Them action late night shows. Yeah, we're gonna talk about them too. Let's see who else. The GNX tour already popping. It's on TikTok. Word. Most convincing fake psychic with Sylvia Brown versus Miss Cleo. I watched the Miss Cleo documentary. They did the game on her. Miss Cleo's life was messed up too, but she had been lying her whole life. She was scamming, period. But she was not. She didn't actually do the scamming with the psychic network thing. Like they pinned it all on her, but she really didn't. She was just the face of it. She got like a few racks to be that lady on the thing, and they just kept using all the footage over and over. She actually got done real dirty in that situation. She did think she was a psychic, and everybody that met her when she moved to Florida believed in her psychic abilities, but she was a lesbian, and in the lesbian community they had embraced her and stuff. They believed everything she said, but she actually started off she nobody really know her childhood like that. Apparently she was adopted or lived with somebody that was her parents or whatever, and she had went up to like the northwest area of the country, or California or something like that, and she was scamming people out of money because she was in acting classes and stuff, and talking about she was gonna start a play production, and apparently she ran off with the bag and then went to Florida, start a whole new lifestyle stuff. But as far as the psychic hotline stuff, she kind of got gypped out of that. They did her dirty on that one, on the actual. Let's see. They live stream. Well, I appreciate y'all being over here while the gangster stuff going on over there. Ooh, glowworms. Yeah, glowworms was the bomb. The popples. The Raddies. The Raddies. Let me see if that's the Raddies. I remember the Littles. The Rat, was that American? I don't remember the Raddies. Just like I didn't know who the hell Super Ted was. I just found out who the hell Super Ted was. Just found out who he was. But he was in the UK, I believe. Let's see, Raggedy Ran. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Let's see, MacGyver. We gonna talk about that for sure. Pound Puppies, we gonna talk about that. Cabbage Patch, we gonna talk about that. That's all go fall under the toys. Beanie Babies is a very interesting story. How that story talks too. We gonna have to talk about that too. We gonna talk about fads of 80s and 90s too. Because like y'all remember because Beanie Babies was a fad, but the guy that created that, his story crazy. Most of the stuff that's successful now was a failure. I'm talking about a extreme fail. Chick-fil-A was a failure initially, and so was Beanie Babies. It's a very, very crazy story how it got popping, and it took a while. Quantum Leap. Ooh, yeah, we got to talk about the science shows, science fiction shows. I used to love the hell out of Quantum Leap. That was my show. We gonna talk about the UPN shows. We gonna talk about the racist WB Frog. Ooh, the Disney shows. And we gotta do the history of the Disney Channel too. It's kind of jacked up, to be honest. And when I say jacked up, it's just we gotta talk about Night Court too. Y'all remember Night Court? So yeah, we gonna talk about the Disney cause the business behind these shows, like how Darkwing Duck and all that came to pass, was because of the syndicated stations. Like all our childhood stuff is connected to big business, and it's crazy how some of our cartoons got created. And also DuckTales, the whole story behind how DuckTales came to be and stuff. So we're gonna talk about the Disney afternoon as DuckTales, Darkwing. What was that? Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears. And Tailspin. You can hit it when you win it with the spin, when you spin it. Deep lane. Now Fantasy Island and Love Boat and all that was crossover from the 70s, but we will talk about that as well. Video Soul, you know what? We gotta definitely talk about BET and stuff. And just hip hop rap shows back then. We gonna have to talk about the box in New York. Then the music box. We gonna talk about BET. and them shows. Oh, I probably ran out of recording space. That's what that was. Let's see. Show. Yeah, that's what happened with that. Let me go on and delete all of this because I don't need that. What's today? All right, I'll delete this stuff back here. That's what we'll do. Because I had ran out of recording space, y'all. That's why I had kicked this off. Let's see. Schoolhouse Rock. Oh, yeah. A plethora of people never heard I'm Only Just a Bill. Tempest. Bledsoe. That's the name of that show. It was straight super trash. Bill Bellamy, MTV Jams. Let's see. I remember that Moochie Chi Chi show. She was from, they really didn't know her history. We gonna talk about that though. But yeah, she was not from Jamaica. She was not. Let's see. Oh, the new show, cause it still had Dave Quet. You know the dude I'm talking about in the new Night Court. I've been meaning to check that out. Goof Troop. I forgot about Goof Troop and the Mario Brothers Silencer. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me tonight. I know a bunch of y'all go run and check out the GNX clips. I'll probably do the same. And I'm about to go eat some pizza. And our Quet. That's who it was. Night Court was so hilarious. He was hilarious in that too. Once again, I'm the future format of the show. I want to put together actual like videos, and then we weekly come up and we talk about it. And from this, it looked like we might have months and months of stuff. So as y'all saw, we just ran through memory lane, but I'm gonna try to keep everything concentrated from now on certain stuff, and try not to have a debacle like we did. Cause who knew my brother and me only had 3 minutes of trivia and 82 minutes of Alfie smoking blunts and doing crazy weird raps. Once again, I will see y'all on the flip side. Y'all have a good weekend, good Sunday. Hope you be safe if you got to go to work or whatever. Make it home safely. And we'll see you next week, guys. Peace out.